This morning I got a phone call which I never got to answer before the phone switched off. I phoned back immediately in case it was a rescue, and the number never got answered. The call never got answered. I came downstairs and I could hear Carol on the phone talking to somebody, and this person was questioning her about whether it's legal to shoot monkeys and whether it's legal to use air guns and whether people are allowed to feed them or not, etc., etc. And I could just see from the way Carol was, the expressions on her face and the way she was answering this guy, he was very fractious in the way he was engaging with her. And I could hear her trying to explain to him calmly what the reality was, but he was just not interested in hearing what she had to say. In fact, all he phoned for was to vent about his attitude to monkeys and lay the blame on everybody else for the problems he was having, if there were problems indeed. And eventually he just put the phone down on Carol. So I tried to phone him back. I phoned back twice. He never answered his phone. Carol phoned him back again. He didn't answer his phone. But we do know who he is because he lives close to someone that we are acquainted to. We found this out a bit later. But one of the things that he said was that we talk absolute nonsense by putting out the narrative that sets out very clearly that urban and semi-urban monkey populations are rapidly on the decline. We are told by people every day that a troop that they had around regularly that numbered in the late high 20s and to mid 30s is now down to 12, 13 monkeys, etc., etc. And we hear this every day, and we see it every day. The troop that we have coming to our house every day, when I moved into this house, that troop was averaging about 42 monkeys on average. Up and down figures depending on, and that's not counting babies, tiny babies. The male monkeys disperse and little monkeys get killed. But that number fluctuated around about the 40 to 42. That troop is now down to around 20. If we're lucky, it might be 22. That's in the 15 years that I've been here. Now, people ask us, why can we say this, or how do we know this is true? This week alone, we've had 2 incidents on the M4, one southbound, one northbound, but at the same place. On Monday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, we got a call for monkeys run over. We rushed down there. We happened to be at the vet in Durban North at the time. We got there to find 7 monkeys on the southbound side of the M4, just between the on and off ramp to the Lelucia area. 7 from one troop run over and killed, macerated. Today, we got another call from that same place, except on the northbound track side, 3 young monkeys, juveniles, were dead on the road from the same troop. That is 7 monkeys from one troop. Even if we are optimistic and say that troop is 30 strong, that is 30% of that troop killed in 1 week. That is the tragedy that they're facing. That doesn't take into account the threats that those monkeys have from dogs, from air gun people who shoot at them with air guns, and other weapons like catapults, paintball guns, bows and arrows, even crossbows, and actual firearms, not air guns, which are under Firearm Control Act, but are not classified as firearms. People are shooting monkeys with firearms. And this is the hazard package that they have to deal with every day. Thank you, Titch. Every single day. And it's impossible, absolutely impossible, for a species where the female has to be at least 4 years old before she can fall pregnant for the first time, that she has a baby only after 5.5 months and 1 baby a year. So it's impossible for these animals, with this continuous attrition of their population by violent hazards that are human related, for these populations of monkeys to increase. In fact, there is no doubt in my mind, and that of many, many people who monitor monkey populations, that the populations are decreasing so rapidly that we now can truly say that we will, in 5 years' time, be fortunate to have urban monkeys around where we live in our urban areas. That is the tragedy that faces these monkeys. And the sad thing about it is that the authorities, you should be protecting them in terms of legislation, in terms of common decency, in terms of the duty to care which they have. These official bodies that are at municipal and provincial and even national level do not show one iota of interest in the survival of urban wildlife, whether it be raptors of distinction, whether it be mongooses or reptiles, monkeys, etc. It is only private caring citizens who care about these animals and who are constantly warning of the threat to their numbers. And we will, before long, have a situation where urban wildlife is a myth and not a reality anymore. As far as the monkeys are concerned, the tragedy is there for us every single day. On that same road where those 10 monkeys have been killed this week from one troop, just a little further down that freeway, we found 2 adult male monkeys lying dead on the fast lane side of that freeway, which has a concrete barrier separating north from south. Today, I was told by someone that just a bit further than that, another monkey is lying dead on the side of the road today, but not from that troop. This is what's happening all the time. Every single day, we are going out to rescues, which we never ever actually get to see the animal. They're either dead and picked up before we get there, or they've dragged themselves off to go and die somewhere. So people, please, drive carefully, report people who are shooting, and if there are people who have got dogs that are killing monkeys, let us know who they are so we can go and speak to them and explain to them that the morally right thing to do is to keep your dogs controlled when the monkeys are around. If you don't want the monkeys there, use your hosepipe to move them on. But don't leave your dogs running and jumping and barking at the monkeys when they come into your yard. Don't allow people to set snares and traps in your own garden to catch the monkeys that are coming to your house. And just be aware of their fragility of their lives and the hazards that they have to face. Read the information on our website, monkeyhelpline.co.za, and you'll know as much about monkeys as you need to know to understand what you can do to help them survive the atrocities and the hazards that they face. Thank you.